Hello, beautiful people. It is that time. Time for Business by Design. I'm actually coming to you from Zoom this time. I'm trying a couple of different things. Hang on a minute. A little echo and delay, but I want to make sure that I can see comments and know that I am live in the right place. So hang on one second. I think it's better if I watch it this way. All right, so it is time for Business by Design. Now, the one thing I don't like that I see it doing is actually putting the captions below. So we're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna keep going. So if you join me, make sure that you say hello. Let me know that you are here. Remember, it's like walking into my living room. You always want to say hello, right? So welcome, welcome, welcome to our Business by Design episode for this Thursday. So you guys know that this is my Friday. I'm your girl, Valerie Priester. And I'm here every week for your Business by Design. I am here to help you really eliminate the frustration, overwhelm, confusion, all of those things associated with either launching or growing your coaching business, right? So Business by Designs is to share tips that will help you move forward in, your plans of launching or growing your business. And this month, I've been really focused on mindset. And let me tell you why I'm so focused on mindset right now, because I see this happening all the time. In fact, this week alone, with working with my clients, one of the biggest areas that we've been working on with each of them has been mindset. And most of that is because while we need to learn certain business practices and things that we need to do in order to grow or launch our business, what I find is lacking more than anything else is the right mindset to be able to reach the level of success that you're looking for. There's so many things that come into play when you are an entrepreneur and when you are doing this work for yourself that you really didn't even recognize you had those issues happening when you, let's say, were working for a 9 to 5, when you were working in corporate America, right? When you were working for someone else, because all of the pieces that you need to put together in order to grow your business, launch your business, right? Continue to grow your business, sustain your business, all of those pieces were already done for you. And now it becomes your responsibility as the business owner to do everything, the marketing, the promoting, the hiring, everything, team building, right? Making sure that you are creating the right products and services for your audience. All of those things become your responsibility. And with all of those things, we tend to struggle with mindset, right? I've seen it across the board. It doesn't matter what level of success you're at. It doesn't matter how much money you're making in your business. It doesn't matter if you just started, if you've been in business for 10, 20, 30 years. It does not matter. I'm seeing it across the board in almost every client that I work with, right? Because it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And it's even real for me. I deal with mindset things. That's why I have to do the work daily. It is a daily practice to make certain that you are keeping your mind where it needs to be in order for you to reach the level of success that you're going after, right? You have to do it every day. It's not something you can try it today and then put it down and come back and pick it up again, next week, or pick up a book that's helping you to learn how to better control your mind and the thoughts and the things that's going on in your mind, and then put it down and come back and pick it up next month. This is a daily practice. A daily practice. And so if you are on my email list, if you're following me on any other social media platforms, or seeing my blog posts, you're seeing a lot of talk about mindset, because I know right here is where it's either break or win, right? Lose or win. Right here is it's in the mindset. It's in the thoughts and the things that you hold on to that prevent you from reaching the level of success that you're looking for. All right, so let's get on with this is part 2 of the 4-part series that I've been doing on mindset. And I want to talk today about the mistake number 2 that you're probably making. I see a lot of this happening too when we talk about entrepreneurs and making money in their business, right? Mistake number 2 is keeping your head in the sand. How many of you know what that feels like, right? I have coached individuals through this process too, where when you're keeping your head in the sand, you are not willing to look at your financial situation. you're not willing to get honest about your financial situation, right? So you may be doing things like procrastinating about putting out new programs or services, right? Procrastinating about looking at your financial statements and your bills and invoices and things that are coming in every month, right? You may be procrastinating around raising your rates even, or even making sure that your rates are in alignment with the value that you bring, right? All of those things is keeping your head in the sand. I remember, a while back, I had a client who never looked at her finances, never looked at bank statements, never reconciled a bank statement. Just assumed that, well, if there's money there, everything's okay. Well, you can't run a business like that, because 9 times out of 10 is not. And at some point, you'll find that you don't have the funds that you thought you had because you're not tracking anything. You're not keeping up with anything to know really where you are financially, right? So one of the practices that I do every single week, and I teach my clients to do the same thing, is you should review your finances every week. You should know where you are. You should know how much money you're bringing in on a weekly basis. And in fact, you should know how much money you're bringing in on a daily basis. Right? But at the very least, you should be tracking that. You should know what's coming in, what's going out. You should know the balance on your business credit cards. You should know the interest rate on those credit cards. You should know, how you are managing your cash flow and what your cash flow looks like. You should know when subscriptions and platforms and systems that you're using in your business, you should always know when do they expire. Right? A lot of you, I know, if you're starting out, you're trying to operate on a shoestring budget, and you may be starting out with paying for a lot of these platforms and systems on a monthly basis. That's great if that's what, you feel like you can do. There's no right or wrong. But what I will say to you is this: you save a lot of money when you put things on an annual subscription. Plus, it helps you to better track it, right? You can track it when it's on a monthly subscription too, but for me, I'm just going to say for me, because some of you really, maybe do better with the monthly. But whatever you have it set up as, you should review your financials every single week, so you know where you stand. You know how much money you have in the bank. You know what's expected to come in. You know what's expected to go out, right? You can't bury your head in the sand and just assume that everything is going to turn out okay financially. It won't. And then here's the biggest piece: what you measure grows. What you focus on grows. And so if you want your income to grow, then you need to be focused on your income. And in order to do that, that means looking at your finances, knowing where you are, knowing how much is coming in, right? Knowing how you're measuring up to your budget and your projected income. Where do you stand with that, right? Throughout the month, you should know, am I going to hit this number or not? Am I close to it? Am I 20% to it? Am I 40% to it? Am I 50% to it? Where do I stand? And when you begin to really keep your eye on the things that matter, which is the income, right? And the expenses, you got to keep your eye on that as well. But when you keep your eye on that, when you're focused on that, you will notice that that will begin to grow, because that's what you're focused on. So it's very important that you don't just bury your head in the sand. You don't just assume that, things are going to be okay, and that, I got money in the bank. If I don't have money in the bank, then I won't do that charge. If I don't have money in the bank, then I won't get that service, right? That's not how you run a business. It really isn't. Your business should stand alone, and it should have its own finances that you are monitoring, and that you are making sure that you are keeping your eye on, you're focused on. Right? Here's a couple of other things that have come up just over this week as it relates to mindset and what's keeping you from really generating the income that you're looking for in your business, right? That is, a lot of times when we are, looking to generate an income in our business, we're looking at different ways of doing that, different streams of income, and how we, do that. And sometimes opportunities can present themselves to you, and you decide that you're not going to even look at the opportunity because it's not coming the way that you thought it should come, right? Or it doesn't look the way that you thought it was going to look. That's another form of burying your head in the sand and going, well, that's not what I want, but you don't even investigate it. You don't even look into it to see if that opportunity is a good fit for you. Here's what happened even with me, right? I had no idea with working with my largest client that things would turn out the way that they did in my business. And over the last 5 years, that has been one of the greatest opportunities that I've had, right? And that opportunity is through contract coaching. So there's more than one way to generate an income in your coaching business. It doesn't have to be all about your direct coaching and really bringing in clients, right? You got to do that, but there could be an opportunity in contract coaching. And if you dismiss it because you're thinking, no, I want to create my own thing. I don't want to, be tied up to anyone else or connected to anyone else where I'm doing contract coaching for them. I want to create my own. Well, what is wrong with you doing contract coaching until you create your own? It's still generating income. It's still a part of your business, right? So don't turn away from opportunities that you have no idea what they may have for you and how it can actually benefit and catapult your business in a whole different direction. You have no idea. So don't say no to an opportunity without the due diligence of really investigating it and looking at what does it have to offer for me? Is it a good fit for me? Right? Is it a good fit for my business? Is it a good fit for the way that I want to operate and run my business? Be open to opportunities because you do not know how they will show up, right? I think I heard Lisa Nichols say this, that sometimes opportunity shows up wrapped in sandpaper, right? And so if you're so worried about the sandpaper, you got to get through the rough edges of the sandpaper to get to the actual opportunity that you decide, I'm not even going to look at it. You have no idea what you may be dismissing. You have no idea what you may be actually missing out on in the way of an opportunity, right? That's all about mindset too. It's all about being in a position where you are allowing things to come to you, right? You know what you're desiring, you know what you're praying for, you know what you put out there, that this is what I desire, but are you allowing those things to come and to come in an inner manner that they choose to, and not just how you want them to show up? You have to be open to it, right? So that was an extra bonus for today. But the main thing I want you to really think about is don't bury your head in the sand. Don't bury your head in the sand over opportunities. Don't bury your head in the sand over your financial situation. Get honest with yourself about your financial situation. Look at your financial situation. Review it every single week so that you know where you stand in your business. You know how close you are to meeting your goals, right? You know the money that you have in the bank. You know how much you have on your credit cards. You know what the interest rate is on your credit cards. You know what you need to do in order to generate the cash flow that you're looking for in your business. The only way you're going to know that is to make sure that you're focused on it and that you're reviewing it every single week. All right. That is our Business by Design for today. Thank you so much for joining me if you join me live. And if you catch the replay, make sure you hashtag replay and let me know that you were here. And also remember that if you have any questions, about the topics that I cover, if you want me to cover different topics, make sure that you just put it in the comments. I'm always going back through and checking the comments and looking at, what you have there. And then also remember, if you feel like you need help with what's going on between your ears, right? What you're thinking, the thoughts you're having, and how you're self-sabotaging yourself right here in your mind and in your mindset, make sure that you check out The Shift, right? I created this 6-week program so that you have an opportunity to work with me privately, one-on-one, 6 weeks, right? And we can work on your mindset, or if you feel like I'm great with my mindset, but I got some things with this business that I really don't understand and I need to work on those things, great, we can work on those things. Whatever it is that you want to work on during this 6-week period, I'm leaving that open to you because I want to be here to help you. Now, here's the thing. I work with smaller groups and smaller numbers because I know my numbers and I know what I need in order to generate the income that I'm looking to generate. I also know, more importantly, my capacity to serve, right? And so for The Shift, right, I've always said that I'm going to limit that to 5 individuals, right? So I'm going to move it just to 8, right? Because I've been getting a lot of interest in it. And so I'm going to move it to 8. But that's the number, right? Once I get 8, that's it. And then I'll open it up later as I finish up with, the 8 that are going through. So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, right, this is a great value offer. It's certainly lower than any of my, other ways of working with me. with the exception of, not getting the one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you just put in the comments, I'm interested in the shift, right? And I will connect with you and give you the information, give you the link and everything that you need to really be clear on what's included in that and how you can actually work with me privately for 6 weeks. All right. That is it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. For those of you that know me, today is my Friday. So I am going to finish up today and then kick back and relax and enjoy time with family. All right, guys, have an amazing weekend. And remember, designing your victory is a choice. You get to decide when you start, right? And my encouragement to you is start today. We'll see you next week for our next episode of Business by Design on Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. Bye now.